Here is the sign diagram for this expression. We know the sign diagram shows us where the graph of this expression is above of x-axis and where it's below x-axis. So first of all, to draw a sign diagram, I put this expression equals 0. If two terms, product of two terms equals 0, at least one of them must be 0. So I say the first parenthesis must be 0, the first parenthesis must be 0, which gives me x equals, if I bring 1 in the right side and then both sides divided by 3, which is x equals 1/3. And then the second parenthesis equals 0, which is 4 minus x equals 0. Then x would be, I bring 4 to the right side, would be -4. Both sides divided by negative sign gives me 4. Two value of x, 1/3 and 4 are my critical points. Now I try to draw a table. I draw a table here. And the second line here, I try to put here. Okay, it's my table. The value of x to see where this expression would be negative and where would be positive. First of all, I put negative infinity and it comes to the smallest critical point, which is 1/3. And then I will go for the biggest one or largest, which is 4, and then positive infinity. Okay, I will go to write my expression here. So the first parenthesis is 3x minus 1. The second one is 4 minus x. Now I put a dash line here. Come down, down, down. And here for my critical point that make this expression 0. 1/3 make the first parenthesis, that means 3x minus 1, 0. So it's my critical point for this expression. And 4 make the second parenthesis, which is 4 minus x, 0. So 4 is critical point for this expression. Now let's find the sign of this expression. Less than 1/3, less than critical point. It would be the sign of this expression would be the positive of the sign of coefficient of x. The coefficient of x here is positive, so opposite of the sign of coefficient of x would be negative. And larger than this critical point would be same with sign of the coefficient of x. Here would be same. For the second expression, 4 would be my critical point. Less than critical point, I look at the sign of x and I put the opposite sign of x. Here sign of x is negative, so the opposite sign of x would be positive. And larger than critical point, I have an identical sign with coefficient of x, which is negative. Now the product of, for the last row, I write the product of these two expressions, which is the original expression that I have for this question. 3x minus 1 times 4 minus x. 2 point, this expression would be 0. Let me change my color. So 2 point, as I said, here and here, make this expression 0. They are multiplying by each other, so the sign would be multiplied by each other. So for this interval between negative infinity to 1/3, the sign would be multiplied. Negative positive gives me negative. And in this interval between 1/3 and 4, positive positive gives me positive. And larger than 4, which is between 4 and positive infinity, gives me negative. Now I try to draw a sign diagram. The sign diagram, which is here. Try it, make it larger. That's it. And let me change my color. It's better. Okay. I go to put my point. First of all, 0, 0, which is here, and then 1/3, 1/3. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. My region starts from negative infinity and goes to positive infinity. Again, I say from negative infinity to 1/3, which is here, the sign would be negative. From 1/3 to 4, the sign would be positive, and larger than 4 to positive infinity would be negative. Here it means less than 1/3, the graph would be below x-axis, below x-axis. And here shows it's above x-axis, above x-axis. Here again, the graph would be below x-axis. That means the graph would be have a, if I want to show it, the graph would be like this. Here it would be my 4 critical point or my solution, and here would be 1/3. It's my graph and it's my x-axis.